Hello everybody, it's Jackie here with another journal share for you. This one is a private swap even with Wendy Connors Beckett. You probably know her as Wendy's Journal Adventure. I think she is on YouTube. We're doing a private swap and her request was for carpetbagger style. Mine aren't strictly speaking carpetbagger, but I'm hoping this is what she meant. And her requested theme was botanical. Wendy often says on her videos that her favourite flower is the iris, so I've probably gone a little bit iris heavy on this one. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, Wendy. And let's get started. I've made a little journal card journal card tag really to go with this, and I think I got this idea kind of from Tracy Fox initially, I think. Anyway, I created the tag from a sheet of 6x6 paper folded over, cut a window in it, and I'd got this two-sided image from an old calendar, and I just thought that went so pretty together. So that's Wendy's tag. The front of the journal, I've just used a printout which I've turned into a sort of chipboard piece by layering it up with card. There's a pretty jewel on here which matches the colours. That was just luck that I had that in my stash. I think it was some broken jewellery that my mother-in-law gave me. I've made a charm that's on the side of the book here, and that's just put together some little bead dangles that I've made as a bird and another bee, and just some pretty colours really to tone with this, and then the fluff, the bows on the top, which I usually do. So that's that. Let's get inside. Try not to make this too long. I have used quite a lot of charms on the edge here, which I quite often do. I did have a bit of a mistake with this journal, a bit of an accident at the end, so it's probably slightly more heavily decorated than some of the others I make, but I'll tell you about that when I get there. So this is fabric cover card. Wendy asked for 5x7 approximately. The pages are definitely 5x7, the cover is just a little bit larger, and it's fabric over card, zigzagged round. This is seam binding, and on the inside I've chosen this gorgeous batik fabric which I thought went beautifully with this scrapbook paper that I've used. So I've got a little collage here, fabric and card pocket. I've got the Song of the Iris Fairy on the inside tag. That's fairly plain and simple. This is Sari Silk down here. The Heliotrope Fairy, Flower Fairy is in there. I've used these little word stickers from Tim Holtz throughout the book as well, so you'll see those popping up. And the tabs are all from yellow Sari Silk, which picks out the yellow iris, which you'll see shortly, and some little lace hearts either side. There's a couple of quotes. This is a glassine bag page with some ephemera. You can see I'll have to glue these down. Obviously the glue stick is not doing so good. There's yellow and green in there. These are from, I'd done something like this before, and then I saw Jibby do it as well, a bit more elaborately than me, so I've turned these pages from the Observer book of wildflowers, and here's the yellow flag, which is the yellow wild iris, and I've made a little stamped and watercoloured journaling spot, I suppose that is, so that's there. This is from an old book about mushrooms and a handmade tag. There's another of those words. This is from an old book written by a biologist with original drawings. I mean, this is printed, but it's from her original drawings. Can't remember her name. There's a butterfly on that one. This is the yellow iris again there. I've put some more collage to match this front one, and some of the Edith Holden quotes in this book. Cyclopedia of Horticulture, that's a vintage 1880s book, I think, and we've got the iris there. Use some washi tape. This is another handmade or tag that I've made. Ledger paper. This is from the Language of Flowers. So we've got the hyacinth, which is meaning play. This is a daffodil, and the iris here, which they've said means message. I've made a couple of these envelopes, which have got some ephemera in them. So these envelopes are a mixture of Tracy Fox and Gibbid Neary ideas. I don't know if they come from anywhere else prior to that, but thank you ladies, all of you who put your YouTube videos up. Some doily printing there that's nice and visible, and I've used the Edith Holden yellow iris for the centre with some butterflies. That's a bit of decoupage that was left over from the mushroom pocket that I made. Some butterflies along the bottom of that just to add a bit of interest. This is another flag that the flag is another name for the wild iris. This is a tag, definitely a Tracy Fox inspired. In fact, it's a straight copy really of Tracy's hanging tags, which I do love making. Thank you, Tracy. Vintage cigarette card. This is a Tim Holtz card used as a pocket. It's the other side of the ledger. The iris, another little card there, and this is another page from the Wild Flowers book, and I've used 2 journaling cards that time. That's the other side of the iris. This is another collage with a quote from the Edith Holden book, and this is where the mistake happened. I don't know if you've ever done this. I did this years ago when I used to make mini albums, and I'd forgotten that it could happen. So when I was setting this eyelet in the back here, on the crocodile there's a small punch on the opposite side, and somehow I managed to get these pages in the way. So there was a tiny hole through each of these pages. So I had to work out, because I'd already done half the book, put the cover on, they were sewn in, so I had to work out a way to rectify that mistake, shall we say. So here you can probably just see the very tiny hole. Sorry Wendy, but I think the rest of it is fine. It's a little watercoloured, I think that's made with oxide inks, little die cut on there, and this side some pretty, that's from a vintage book, and that's scrapbook paper. This is the other side of the glassine, and there's a little journal card there made from Tim Holtz paper. I think Wendy particularly likes that image. This envelope is glued on because obviously that's where the little tiny hole was, and I put another flower fairy in there, all the colours toning, and washi tape here. And then on the back page I've used a white rose from an old book, some scrapbook paper for a pocket, and a final little charm there, and that's the inside of the back cover where you can see that gorgeous fabric. I'm not going to put a pocket there, I just think that's so lovely just to look at on its own. So this is my book, Wendy. I hope you like it. I hope it's what you expected. Private swaps make me a bit nervous, perhaps more than anything else, but anyway, I'm very grateful, and Wendy is already linked below in the general blurb that I put on my YouTubes, but I'll put her near the top as well, so you can go and have a look at her wonderful artwork. Thank you, bye bye.